Pregame.com.
Thursday night NBA Finals, Game 5, Heat up 3-1. Bryan, it's got to be bittersweet for you. I know you're a big LeBron James fan.
Have you ever made a comment one week and a week later totally changed your mind?
Sometimes.
Did it have the words "I do" in it?
Well, my wife watches the video, so I can't.
Well, I know it hasn't happened to you, and it hasn't happened to me in that regard. My wife also watches the videos. But last week I talked about it, and I said this is a very tightly contested series, and I would either take the dog or pass. I am going to take the Miami Heat in this game.
You two-faced.
And, well, two reasons. Number one, if Miami wins, I win my bet. Miami loses, LeBron James has got to play one more game.
Before he gets that ring?
Yeah, well, I guess I got to bet on Miami 3 games in a row then, don't I? In reality, last game, Oklahoma City came out on fire. That's been their drawback the first games of this series. They came out slow. Miami came all the way back, 16 straight points, I believe.
Yeah. Talk about a race and a deficit.
Yep. And Oklahoma City did what they had to, took the lead, and they still couldn't hold it. And what I have seen is after the game one adjustments, Oklahoma City has not made any correct adjustments. Miami's still able to get to the basket. Oklahoma City still looks like they're not playing in a good game flow offensively. And when it comes down to making mistakes, where we have seen Miami late in the fourth quarter all year long make the mistakes when it came down to it, Oklahoma City is doing the same thing.
Well, they're looking like a team that's in the NBA Finals for the first time.
Correct.
Gee, they are a team that's in the NBA Finals for the first time. So it is a learning experience.
One more time than any Pittsburgh team, by the way.
Being that we don't have any.
Oh, good point.
Yeah. Okay. You want to start talking about championships? Baseball, football, really? You want to go there? Compare
You
Cleveland?
have more hockey championships than Cleveland does. Does Pittsburgh have any hockey championships?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We're going to do a video, Pittsburgh versus Cleveland sometime. And if it'll be a fight, then stop it.
I will be the underdog, definitely.
Huge
You're
underdog.
going to have to be giving me a few titles instead of points.
But seriously, in this game, Miami, they've made the clutch plays. Last night, Russell Westbrook, what was he thinking at the end of the game? I mean, first of all, let's give him credit. 43 points. Super game from Westbrook yesterday. Carried the team, I felt. No, I mean, you had Westbrook and Durant. That was the whole team. 71 points of their 98. You can't win a basketball game that way. They've got to get some other help from other areas. But even at that, they were right there at the end of the game. Was tied at 94 before LeBron hits that, money three. I mean, I know we've all bashed LeBron all year. We've done it. But if he doesn't silence the critics with what he's done the last 2 games of the Boston series and what he's done in this series so far, what does the guy have to do? I know, win a ring. That's what he's got to do.
I can't say anything good about LeBron. I will say he's been excellent in this series. I still don't like him, but he's a hell of a basketball player. And you talk about the Westbrook situation. Granted, that was a mistake on his part, but that's a terrible rule. I mean, to give an extra 4.2 seconds to that team just because of the rule, he had 0.8. He thought it was 0.8 seconds left. Mm-hmm. And I don't know why he would foul him anyway.
Yeah.
But still, I could see what he was thinking.
It definitely cost them, the game, and it shouldn't have been down to that last thing. But here's the point. We both agree that Oklahoma City has not played well, where they're not getting balanced scoring. They need somebody else to step up, which that's what's happened with Miami. You've had games where it's been Shane Battier, hitting the key threes. Last night, when have you seen Chalmers score 25?
Oh, he was good before when they'd have an injured player. One of the two were injured.
Yeah.
He's been good when he's had his chances in that regard. But you were exactly right. Harden's done nothing in this series. Oklahoma City, the other guys are all defensive players. They're not scorers. And that's good because they play defense. But, how many times has Perkins been, or the center for Oklahoma City, been under the basket and had easy basket, and they won't throw him the ball because they know he can't score. And if he does get the ball, he's going to get fouled. He's a terrible foul shooter.
It's a bad situation. But with all of that said, Brian, they've been in both games with every. Let's go back, to Game 3. They had a huge disadvantage from the foul line, yet they still were right there at the end of the game and should have covered. I know that's a sore spot, with you on that one, but they should have covered that game. Then last night, what happened? You only had 2 guys score, and then you had a guy that nobody figures on, has been missing in this whole series, Chalmers. He scores 25. You got Miami has balanced attack. Everybody scored. You had 3 guys, 25, 24, 25 points, and then, Bosch, getting double digits. That's hard not to win under those circumstances, yet it came down to the waning seconds of the game. It was a 3-point game before that, mental, bonehead move by Westbrook. So you got to think that Oklahoma City, don't you worry that if they just put a couple of the pieces together, plus I haven't even mentioned their shooting from 3-point land. The last 2 games, they're 3 of 16 and 4 of 18. If they hit just a few more, just one more 3 in each game, they're covers in both of those. You got to think something's got to happen. History, since they've gone to this format, the 2-3-2 back in 1985, first of all, no team's ever come back from 3-1. That's a fact. What I found even more alarming in that stat is there hasn't even been a Game 7 when it's been 3-1. That's pretty disturbing and says that your man's going to get his ring. No, but here's one that gives some hope for Oklahoma City. There's only been 5 times since '85 that the home team has won the middle 3 games all at home. So does Miami close it out here? You think they do?
Well, you're looking at small sample sizes there, and everything has to do with the way these teams are playing. If you're Oklahoma City, you're coming into this game, and as you pointed out, they should have been there the last 2 games, didn't get it done. They got to be questioning themselves right at this point. The way LeBron has been chastised, and I've been leading the pack. He does not
right behind you.
Yeah, he doesn't not want to go back to Oklahoma City. You're probably going to get the most focused game from him in this game. I mean, there was times last year when they played Dallas in the championship. They were making the same mistakes Oklahoma City is making now. So it's one of those things, and we've heard Michael Jordan talk about that when he couldn't get over the Detroit Pistons. We've heard players that couldn't get over the Boston Celtics, couldn't get over the Lakers. And to at that point, they've got to be there, and they've got to be able to do it more than one time to actually get there. This may be the case for Oklahoma City. They may be just too young.
It could be, if you subscribe to the NBA conspiracy theory that they want more games, that would subscribe that there's going to be more foul shots called. It'll be a little more even at the foul line in this game. So even though Miami's controlled the first 2 here at home, if all of a sudden Oklahoma City's going to the line a little bit more, I think we'll have to ask David Stern another question.
That theory didn't seem to work out very well yesterday. Everybody seemed to think that Oklahoma City yesterday, that was the game that they needed to have. We've seen it so often. A team who thinks they have it, all of a sudden starts slipping away. They lose all their confidence. Oklahoma City had in my opinion, they had a far better chance to win Tuesday's game than they will on Thursday.
Oh, the way they opened that game up, it was, unbelievable.
On fire, still couldn't get it done.
I agree with you. Well, there you have it. Bryan says take the Miami Heat, put the ring on LeBron James. You going to go back to Cleveland for the celebration parade? Oh, no, it won't be in Cleveland.
If they do lose, I will go back to Cleveland for the anti-Miami Heat celebration parade. I'm sure they'll have one.
You guys do carry a grudge.
I may have to lead it.
You
tell RJ I need a vacation coming up.
You know what? If we can go back to Cleveland, can we hit the Winking Lizard and get some wings? I'll go back with you.
Sure. No problem at all.
I've spent a few days few nights in the Winking Lizard.
And the next day too.
Well, anybody that's been in Cleveland knows where the Winking Lizard is. All right, he's Bryan Leonard. I'm Marco D'Angelo. He says take Miami minus the points Thursday night. Close it out. Hey, we're going to be right back. We're going to Friday Major League Baseball. We're going to New York. It's the Subway Series, Yankees and the Mets. That's up next on pregame.tv.